a common thing that a lot of our users uh, or customers complain about as they're migrating over to Routefusion, as they're in the sales pipeline, et cetera, are FX cancellations. The reason it's such a problem is because typically in an FX transaction, say your user sends $1,000 payment from the US to Europe, um, and then let's say an hour later, a day later, however long later, they decide to cancel it. Um, the common practice in the industry is to charge some sort of fee on the cancellation. That fee can come in a one-time charge of like, 10, 20, $30. Or it can be a spread, like a small percentage spread. But basically, there is a fee of some sort that comes back to you and your user to cancel that transaction. Um, I'm personally not a fan of that. I think it provides like a really terrible user experience, especially if the payment hasn't gone out yet and you're not having to do like a recall. Uh, so I was going to just basically talk about like the three different ways that this sort of takes place. Um, the first way, and easily the worst way that companies will do this stuff, is through a double dip. Um, so double dipping, if you talk to Nabs, he'll tell you that it was common practice like 20 years ago. Sorry to age you, Nabs. Nabs is our CRO, one of our co-founders, if anyone was wondering. Um, but yeah, so a double dip. So how does a double dip work? So let's say your user books that payment, $1,000 from the US to Europe. Let's say a few hours later, they decide to cancel it for whatever reason. Um, so the FX company that payment went through has to reverse out of that currency. So they sold US dollars, bought euros. Now they have to sell euros and buy US dollars. So it's common practice in the FX space to add a spread to the payment. So let's say the spread's like 0.75%. So that's $7.50 on $1,000 payment. Um, on that reverse trade, a double dip is when they charge that exact same spread to basically convert those funds back. It is super shady, questionably unethical. It's still like you still see it though, which is crazy to me. But yeah, so that's the first way to double dipping. The second way um, is is basically uh, when that $1,000 payment and the FX company needs to sell that currency in euros and buy back USDs, instead of charging you an additional spread, um, or the same spread, they'll charge a nominal spread. So say something like 0.01, 0.05%, and they will deduct it from the 0.75% that they originally charged. So your user doesn't technically get the full amount back, but they do get some of it back, right? It's not ideal, but it's better than it's better than a double dip. And then C, I wrote down here. I wrote down here you need to renegotiate your contracts. But basically, the proper way to do it, and how we do it at Routefusion is we do not charge anything for the entire payment. So let's say you send that $1,000 payment to Europe, you cancel, you decide, so now we have to sell euros and buy back US dollars. I think the right way to do any type of FX cancellation is to say that 0.75% that was charged, all of that is going back to the customer, less the rate change that may have happened in the market. So let's say the rate goes, changes 0.01% in that 1 hour. You'll get 0.74% back. The user will. So basically, it just covers the FX company's losses. It should cover any losses that you may incur or whatever. But in my opinion, it's the most fair way because you're not charging something that a customer never theoretically used. That and also like the FX companies are still going to make money because on a per transaction basis, like whatever that transaction cost was on the fixed fee side, like they'll get to pocket that. But in my opinion, that's the right way to do it. Most people don't have that standard in their contracts. So if you don't have that standard, you should definitely reach out to your FX provider and make that standard and tell them that this is the right way to do it. Anyways, quick short video. No idea if this is worth a damn. Let me know if it was helpful or if you would rather not see my face and just read the text. Anyways, thank you, and we will talk to y'all later. I'm your